Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Interviews with Entrepreneurs in South Africa. Today, I'm very excited to introduce you to Ursula and John. They have a wonderful bed and breakfast called Die Skoolhuisie, and John is also a beekeeper. So, Ursula and John, if you will, I'll hand over to you and you can tell us a little bit more about your business and why you started it.
Okay, yeah, the story is actually quite simple. We were still in the corporate business, and John's friend asked us if we would prepare to live on a farm and look after his place while he's overseas. So we packed up and we came to the farm, and we renovated a very old house. It's built in 1884, and it's got nice thick walls, and it was really a mess, and we like sort of renovated it nicely. And then I started with all the alien clearing in the past, and we really put our heart and soul into this place. And then about 2 years ago, the next door neighbor wanted to sell his little schoolhuisie. And I just fell in love with that schoolhuisie. It's been just such a wonderful place, and I always wanted something like that. So eventually it came to it. Now the boss came and I said to him, don't you want to buy the next door property too? So I had a look at it and thought about it, and he said yes. And then we did the renovations and did all the soft furnishings and whatever. And yeah, we started for the Karuta Coast 2 years ago. So it's almost running for 2 years now, and it's the best job I ever had in my whole entire life.
Oh, that's wonderful. And where exactly is it based?
It is about 50 kilometers from Pecans and Knysna, and then 18 from Baboon and 30 from Uniondale. Right in the little hamlet of the Vlugt, as you come down the Prince Alfred Pass, you will see a few houses, and then ours is on the road, which makes it very dusty, and the schoolhouse is just a little bit away from us.
Okay, that's a beautiful area. It's really wonderful. For those of you who are watching, they've got the Knysna forests on one side, and then on the other side you drive. So on the one side of the pass, you're driving on the edge of the mountain, looking out over mountain views, and then once you come through De Vlugt, you then right in this gorge where you're right next to the river, and you've got mountains on either side of you. It's really spectacular scenery there. And
Yeah.
what corporate job were you doing before this?
John is marine biology. You can tell that.
Yeah, I worked for South African national parks for almost 25 years, and then I was retired, and I was able to find a position in Zambia, and we ended up in Zambia for almost a year, building a lodge in the lower Zambezi Valley.
And then we worked on road contracts, doing environmental stuff. So, and that's what we gave up to come here. And then we just continue with our passion, which is getting rid of alien invasive species and bringing the nature back to its full glory.
Okay, that's quite a brave task to take on. I've seen on that road there's a lot of wattle and that kind of thing on that road. It must be quite a monumental task.
It is absolutely non-stop busy, and once you've started, and the time that we put in, we've been doing it for about 6 years now, with little funds, and sometimes we get a bit of donations and whatever, which is always great. But it's hard work, and it's not very accessible, as you know, because there are these sheer cliffs right on the river. So sometimes the staff really have to take risks, which we don't like at all. But yeah, they're mostly youngsters, and they sometimes give their free time on a Saturday, and then we just prepare big food, and we just use it as a little bit of a just a get together for everybody in the club.
It must be quite amazing, though, when you get it right, to see the natural environment coming back to life again.
It is absolutely phenomenal. If you travel from the Vlugt and to the direction of Avontuur, the first 3.5 kilometers are already pristine. There are no wattles. We follow up regularly, and you will see the indigenous vegetation, how it's come back. It's absolutely unbelievable. And there's a new lodge being built just a little bit higher up. and we're doing the alien clearing and the gardening for them. And you can see under those huge bottles, nothing grows underneath them. It's just a sterile environment.
So what makes you guys work on this project when, you know, so many other people say, well, it's a bigger problem than we can take care of, so we can't do anything, so we're not going to do anything at all?
Yeah, this is a problem because people always think, you know, you are fighting a losing battle. I think if everyone in South Africa or in the world would just do a little bit, it will go a long way to make our country so much more beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. Now, John, I'm very eager to hear about your beekeeping. How did you get into beekeeping, and do you sell your honey?
We do sell the honey, and unfortunately we have none at the present moment because we had fires, enormous fires in 2018, and we were not able to, there was no forage for the bees. And so we just had to, that was the last harvest we had just after the fire. And a year later, I had a look, and there's absolutely nothing, just drawn combs, empty drawn combs.
But we do sell the honey when we have, and we all sell it from home. We don't use a middleman at all. And it's always wonderful if the people stop, and we've only met nice people wanting to buy honey. And our honey is called the Vlugt's Finest. And on our website, you will see a photo of our honey jars. So hopefully by the end of this year, we will have stock in, and we can meet lots of nice new people.
Okay. Do you notice that the bees come back as the natural environment bounces back?
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's a fair bit of absconding when the of a colony when the conditions are incorrect for them, and they will just scoot off and find another place. And we find that this is something which is just natural. You know, this is the way nature works, and there's bees. There's always bees around. You know,
Yes.
so we put catch boxes out like all beekeepers do, and you catch a trick swarm.
And it's amazing, this year the aloes are absolutely blooming in profusion. And this morning, earlier I was out and it was 18 degrees or something silly after one yesterday morning off. And the bees were already busy because it's a warmer day. And then John does all the harvesting and the extraction because I'm highly allergic to bees. And then early in the mornings we carry it in, and I do the bottling and the label.
Okay. It must be quite frightening for you to have to work with bees if you're allergic.
No, I don't work with them at all. I just close myself up in the house when John does that.
Okay. Okay. Where we lived on our farm in Howick a couple of years ago, Pete also kept bees there, and he'd process the honey in the house. And thankfully I wasn't allergic, but there was like a dead end in our kitchen that they always used to get stuck in, and I always used to get stung when I was washing the dishes. So
Oh, no. No.
and tell us about Die Skoolhuisie, because you said that it's really the nicest job you've ever done. What about that job do you love so much?
No, I think it is the oldness of the house. We don't know exactly when it was built, but we expect that it was was it
1910 or something.
1910, around about there. So it has just got an incredible appeal. And I just love, you know, the cleaning and stuff is not always the nicest, but I've got no staff for the Skoolhuisie, so we do everything ourselves. The nicest for me is to meet nice people, because we never had any horrible people coming to stay with us yet. And what is so nice for me is to put the finishing touches in, like the flowers there, and put different colored towels out for the people, and just make it really inviting. And it's just a happy place, a very happy place.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And the
And
name Die Skoolhuisie.
sorry,
Sorry,
Melanie.
no,
I
you.
was going to say we've had several people, guests over here, who actually went to school in the Skoolhuisie,
Oh
you know,
wow,
in the 60s and the 50s.
that's
Yeah,
wonderful. What
and we
wonderful
use
history.
there are two blackboards in the schoolhouse, and I just always encourage the people to write something on the blackboard. So it's been full many times, and we take photos of it and put it back up, and then people can just carry on writing.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. It must be amazing for someone who was there at school to then stay in it as a bed and breakfast. That sounds like such a great idea.
Yeah, it is nice, and obviously people will have to remember that all the mod cons they leave behind. If there's an emergency, people can always use our phone for sure. But there's no electricity, there's only gas, there are only solar lights, there are loads of candles, and that's it. That's as
Um,
good as it gets. And you have to light a donkey if you want to shower. You know, the good old-fashioned donkey boilers.
Yes.
So you have to take your little fire, and if you don't want to do it yourself, my hubby is always available and ready to do it.
So it's actually off the grid living.
Yes, we also live off the grid in our little house,
That's
but
wonderful.
we've got TV and we've got Wi-Fi and things like that. But the schoolhouse has got none of it.
Okay, so it's a real getaway retreat for somebody who wants to just leave their technology behind and enjoy life at a slow pace.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's a wonderful undercover dry area. So even if it rains, you can still dry. There's a lovely pool. Now it's obviously icy,
yeah.
but in summertime, the kids have loads of fun. They are literally in the pool all day long.
Okay, so it's child friendly.
It is, and also pet friendly. The people will just have to make sure that their dogs will not run after prize puppies or bush bugs or something like that. They have to be well behaved dogs, and they're more than welcome to come along.
Oh, that's great news because I know a lot of my friends who travel with their dogs struggle to find places where they can stay that are pet friendly too.
I know. It normally is a problem. And so, yeah, in this instance, it works quite well. We had lots of people with kids, and it always worked out really well. We've only got two putties, and they will stand their ground if they if they have to.
Your cat looks very friendly, a real part of the family. Oh, sweet. Look at that.
We've got another one. He's called Tigger. He's much bigger. This is a little one. Her name is Sand.
Okay, okay. And where do most of your customers come from for Die Skoolhuisie?
From all over. We
Yeah.
had overseas people. We had Namibians. We had Botswana people. And then yes, lots of South Africans, and also from nearby, which is nice. If you just want to break away for a short break from Pled or Nice now or something like that, it's fine. And then obviously in December, we get lots of people that are heading for the coast, but they stay over for 2 or 3 nights before they go.
Okay, okay. I know that's quite a long pass, so it must be quite nice when you've traveled from the Plate side to stop in De Vlugt and just relax before moving on further.
It is wonderful, and there's much to do, and also Audrey does breakfast, and we will also do breakfast on request or suppers and whatever, so that's never a problem, really. And obviously, it is self-catering. Bring your own food and your own flour, but that's about it. The rest is all provided, sheets and beds and whatever.
Okay, and
There's
how
a
many?
nice fireplace in the house now in winter.
Okay, okay. And how many people can sleep in Die Skoolhuisie?
8. We've got the old schoolhouse, which is a white building, the old building, and it has got it's open plan because that was the classroom. So it's got 4 beds, a super king size bed, and then 2 singles. And we can shift them around as people want them, or if they want more mattresses, whatever, they can put more on the floor. And then next door is a little wooden cottage, which has also got 4 beds. Then there's an outside bathroom, flush toilet enclosed, obviously, and a nice open air shower. And then alongside the schoolhuisie, or on the stoep, is a beautiful bath. So
Okay.
there's enough facilities for 8 people.
Okay. And John, what's your favorite part of running Die Skoolhuisie?
Oh, yeah, it's jack of all trades over there. You know, I'm the sort of
He fills the pit.
the implementer, and I do all the whatever requires, you know, doing.
Yes.
The grass cut.
Grass cutting, because we also have 60 pecan trees around the blast dam, and those 60 pecan trees, we have to maintain, you know, sort of a fertilizer regime, and then pick them at the end of the year.
Okay.
And what happened here? We had our first harvest this year,
Yeah.
which was wonderful.
Sorry, the end. I meant the end of the growing season.
And do the monkeys wipe out your pecans at all? Because in KZN, the vervets used to get to our pecans before we could.
I know it's a big problem here in the valley too, but there's another pecan nut farmer, and he's got really an established orchard. And I think the monkeys just love it so much there, and they put so much that they forget about us. So we have had no problems yet. Touch wood.
Okay. 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 That's
Yeah,
that.
the other thing also is that you get, it's the baboons and the vervets and the bush pigs.
Yes. Do the bush pigs eat the pecans also?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. And do people who come and stay at Die Skoolhuisie ever see the bush pigs?
We have never seen one around here, only on the road to Vlugt. We've seen often, but not on our place. But if we do work in the river, we see lots of
Spoor.
spoor and also poo and whatever. So they're definitely around, many of them.
Okay. Okay, but they keep to themselves.
Yes, not like Nature's Valley, because they will regularly have them and they would jump up on the door and things like that. But people normally cause those problems. You know, you should just leave wild animals to be wild.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And do the baboons ever come down to the dwellings?
We haven't seen them over here in the nearly 9 years that we've been here.
We had one stray.
We had one loner. That was it.
Okay. Okay. And do you have any buck there that come through?
Oh yes, yeah. We see the spoor in the mornings, and if you stand outside on our deck, then and if you light the torch, you always see in the evenings. You see the light the eyes of the bushbuck mainly.
Yeah, we get bushbuck and
Gracebook.
and the Cape gracebook.
Okay. It sounds like a wonderful place to live.
It is, and we've got, obviously there's roy cut around and lepers. But we don't, if we see any spoor, whatever, we don't tell anyone, because I think, you know, there's a lot of farmers who would like to get a gun to their head.
Yes. 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 I'm sure, John, with your conservation background, it must be a great place to live.
Absolutely, you know, we just love it over here, and you know, we're isolated. Before this COVID-19, we were isolated, and we just love it. Absolutely.
So COVID hasn't affected your business too much?
Yeah, they had to be closed, unfortunately. But it's slowly opening up, because interprovincial travel is now allowed, and if somebody comes for business, so that is it's going to make it a little bit easier and a little bit extra income.
Okay, okay. So I notice we are getting near to the end of our time. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me today. It sounds like such a beautiful place to stay. I'm definitely going to try and make a plan to stay there one day on my travels through the area. Where can we find you online? Have you got a website? Are you on Facebook?
I've got a website. I'm not on Facebook, and yeah, it is listed under the Uniondale accommodation, but I'm sure you will send the link out with you.
Yes, I will definitely add the links when I post the video.
Okay.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today. It was wonderful to get to know you.
Okay, only a pleasure. Only
And
a
whenever
pleasure.
you come past, please pop in.
Absolutely.